Now, how about them damn Celtics?
All right, we're here. Welcome to another post-game edition of How About Them Celtics. Jack is swamped trying to get home from MSG. Has had quite the expedition today. Took the overnight bus, was in the city all day, covered the game. Now he's bussing back. I have the privilege of being joined with Jake Eisenberger, first to the floor. Thank you very much, Jake. Jake, hello.
Hello, Sam. Happy to be on the show. Less happy to be here talking about the end of the 2024-2025 Boston Celtics' basketball season.
Yeah, quite the whimper the team went out with today. Said it to you on the playback. I said it, in the instant reaction. It is the most embarrassing possible way they could have went out. They showed up to MSG as a formality. They did not have to, even compete in this game. They just let the Knicks celebrate for 2.5 hours. It was like they won an NBA championship in there tonight. They had all the celebrity. I mean, we had the in-game feed on playback, so we just got to see all of the people being put up onto the big screen, and it was a coronation. It was so bizarre. It was like Game 5 last year, where the Celtics just
Yeah. Do we lose Sam? They kept it close for a quarter, which is it would have been nice to have it under 20 for the fourth quarter, where it's like at least a couple of you're living and dying a little bit. Like there's like nothing to talk about the game, really. Like we can. I mean, the rebounding was a disaster. The turnovers were a disaster, and you see, like this is essentially what happened in Game 4. The difference is you didn't have Tatum go off for 40, guard every position, and then control the boards.
They could have used some help on the boards, right? Definitely could have. They had, 11 second chance points in the first quarter? The Celtics did not close out defensive possessions when this game was actually close. They gave up points in transition off turnovers. They had 19 combined transition and second chance points in the first quarter, and Boston only had 20. The game was never going to be close, sadly.
The game was never going to be close. Yeah, and it comes back to like repeating this season was going to be hard. You needed Kristaps Porzingis, and it's not his fault, but he played 11 and a half minutes tonight, and it may have been the best game he played in the series. I don't know. He hit a 3, which is nice.
It was fun for 3 minutes.
He missed a free throw, had a block, which was good. Just to have him be a 0 in this series in this game without Tatum, you can't expect to win 3 games in a row against the Knicks. You would have liked to keep it closer, but without him being good, and he's just so far away from being good. Again, not his fault. We're going to find out I don't know if we're going to find out what the illness is after this or what, but it fucked him up big time. And I'm not sure if that was part of why he struggled in the first round, because he played minutes in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. He played 25, 33, 34, 22. His minutes did go down considerably as the series went along against Orlando. So I don't know if that had started to become a thing, because he was good in Game 4. He had 19 points in that Orlando game. So I was like, okay, maybe he's back. 2 for 4 from 3. Then he was bad again in Game 5, and then obviously we know what happened in the Knicks series. So who knows? I don't know, the illness. It's just that, like, if you're trying to pinpoint what went wrong in this series, like, that be, like, the decision was around that from Joe Mazzulla, but, like, they all stemmed from him being a negative.
Yeah, like, it was just a absence that you didn't equate for. I mean, really going into it, I think we all kind of felt like he was not going to be the absolute worst, right? Like, we had seen the Magic series, and we just kind of chalked it up to, wow, like Orlando's playing really physical, and it must have fucked with him. Then game 1 happens, and we're like, oh boy, like there's something really wrong here. And he didn't even play in the second half. He exited, never came back, and we find out the illness is making its presence known again, and that was it for him. He had, like you said, the fun stretch today. It was cool. Thought he might have been back for a second. Had a 3, then a sick block, and then that was literally the end of his productivity. If this is the end for Porzingis, which it very well might be with all of the second apron stuff looming and the desire to get below that and not have to deal with the penalties, he and his $30 million salary are a very clear potential casualty, and this is going to be a sad way for him to be remembered by a lot of people. Like, I feel like a lot of people have soured because of this.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man, because he was a crowd favorite. He loved the Celtics. I'm talking about him like he's either dead or already gone. But there is a clear love between him and being in a situation that actually is playing meaningful basketball, as opposed to being in Washington, which I don't know if we're going to send him back to Washington, but I know I've seen some Utah Jazz trades thrown around. But he was incredibly good when he was on the court. And, like, you didn't need him last playoffs. He gave you game 1 in the finals, and now we know how hard it is. Like, we have more appreciation for how hard it is to win a title. I've been downplaying how much he helped us win last year's title, but he helped keep Al Horford fresh in the regular season, and he did give you a 1-0 lead in the NBA Finals. Like, yes, everybody, like a lot of other guys on the team helped you get that lead, but what he gave you in game 1 was like one of the most absurd performances, and you increase your margin of error so significantly when you go up 1-0 in a series, and he helped you do that, and he helped you play in the first half of game 2 as well. So, seeing what has happened to the Cavs and how hard it's been for the Thunder to win this season, it's like he did contribute to that title, and for that I think you have to have some perspective and be like, it's just fucking bad luck that whatever happened to him illness-wise happened, but try and not be too negative about the experience, I guess.
The best part of the Porzingis thing was, like, the first time he was sick this year, people were getting heated because he wasn't coming back. They were like, fuck this guy. He's, they're getting mad. It's like, he's sick. He didn't choose to be sick. Like, I get it if you're, like, mad that, like, it's somebody like Embiid that's always hurt, and like it feels like some of the stuff is minutia, or like the Ben Simmons thing where like he didn't want to play for the Sixers because he got his feelings hurt. Porzingis went out there and did the opposite of that. Like, he had that freak thing happen to him in the finals and went out and played the last couple games. Like, he wanted to be out there. He was dying to be out there. So, if this is the end for him, that's the end for him, and hopefully they get something somewhat worthwhile in return. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. He just was not effective enough in this series, and the Knicks took great advantage of his weak points. They cooked him on defense. They put him in switches. They went right past him. He could not stick with anybody on the perimeter, and it wasn't really near some of the abilities we'd seen from him this season. Overall, the big man situation in this Celtics-Knicks series was a brutal thing to have to navigate from the Celtics perspective, because you were devastated when you saw the starting lineup today. Double bigs, Horford, Cornette. Neither of them named Porzingis, right? Like, not seeing it be Porzingis was pretty good. Cornette in the starting lineup, pretty good. Everyone kind of excited about that, but it really hindered them at times.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay with the decision to start them together, but big picture, I was like, before the game, I was like, I want 24 to 28 minutes of Horford and Luke, and one of them should be on the court at all times. Like, and then Porzingis plays more minutes than Luke in the first half. And look, to Joe's credit, like, I actually thought that Luke was in the right spots. They kind of had him on some rolls to the rim. They didn't quite execute the passes. The Knicks were ready for it more so, making the windows for those passes a little tighter. And Cornet had to bring the ball down a few times as opposed to having to dunk it. And it's like, if those things go your way, if you get 3 dunks, do you get the momentum going? Do the Knicks start overreacting to those roles, loosen up the offense a little bit? So I'm not sure the starting lineup actually had that much to do with it. But then it's having to go to, and then you got these solo big lineups with just Porzingis. I'm like, bro, he hasn't been able to rebound in 6 weeks. And it was even worse today. I mean, it was bad again. He actually got 5 rebounds today. So, like, that's the thing. That first stint, he actually was okay. I think they were like a -3 or a -4 in those minutes. But the bigger picture between, like, the big man rotation coming to the playoffs was going to be a strength. I was like, Horford's, he's fresh and ready to give you 6% less of what he gave you last year, but it's fine because you've got healthy Porzingis and you've got the new version of Luke Cornet. And it ended up being a massive, massive detriment, weakness, problem all series long. And I think part of that self-inflicted with Mazzulla refusing to go to Luke until Game 5, really. Until Game 5.
Yeah, he leaned all the way into Luke in Game 5, obviously the second half. And has that heroic third quarter with 6 blocks alone in that quarter. He went berserk. He proved everybody that was clamoring for more Luke absolutely correct. Just didn't quite have it the same this year. I mean, this game. Couldn't quite get him involved. They tried. They threw like lead passes into the paint. He couldn't quite get it up. Couldn't quite get past Towns, and the whole team just struggled. Jalen tried his best. Jalen was trying to backpack the Celtics, who were just a bag of bones, a corpse, in the first quarter. He had them within 6. He was competing, and then it got worse.
Yeah, it got worse. I think that a big part of this is the Knicks Game 5 was a blend of Celtics played really well and the Knicks were a disaster. Like, going back and watching some of the clips, I was like, man, the Knicks are sending like 3 guys to these ball screen actions that the Celtics are doing, and it's leading to very easy offense for Jaylen Brown and Derek White. Whereas today the Knicks played good defense, and OG Anunoby was able to bother Jaylen Brown and turn him over 7 times, which was going to be a problem and something that I was worried about going into Game 5. I thought that would rear its head, but the Knicks were not ready for like the increased pace. They were ready for the increased pace tonight. And yeah, Luke Cornet, we love him. I love him, but yeah, is he going to be your solve? Is he going to be the reason you are able to come back from 3-1? No, but he probably could have been the reason you didn't go down 0-2 or able to even the series at 2-2. So to buy yourself that margin.
It's true. Man, like, Cornet might not even be on the team next year. I apologize to people listening to this because, like, I can't really put great coherent thoughts together at the moment. Just sitting here thinking about, like, man, it really sucks they're already done playing basketball, and man, it sucks Tatum's hurt, and they really still should have been able to win this series. And, like, all the thoughts going through your head, and then this game today gives you absolutely nothing. Like, I said it at the top, like, complete humiliation, never really had a shot. They couldn't make a 3 until, like, the second half, oddly enough. Like, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Peyton Pritchard, no-showed, blanked first half. The worst combined showing from those 3 guys possible. And then they decide they want to make shots in the second half. It was just so insulting. So like,
yeah,
just
that was insulting.
Massive punchline, humiliating. Ugh.
Yeah, this is a sad way to go out. For me personally, I was able to kind of take the Game 5 win, and once the first half happened, I didn't have any hope. I was like, that they're not capable of coming back from 20 points, I don't think, without Tatum. And so I kind of let the game wash over me, and I think I just had mourned already. I had grieved after Game 4. I had kind of accepted the fate of the series, and so the actual end of the series didn't hit me as badly as maybe it's hitting some people. But yeah, The annoying thing was just watching the Chalamets and the Strahans and the Ben Stillers and they're just, but like, why would they not be happy? That's the first conference finals in 25 years, which is so embarrassing, but it is still nice for them.
I mean, listen, like, Stiller, Chalamet, very loyal fans, I would say. I mean, Ben Stiller's Twitter profile picture is the Knicks, and it's been the Knicks for, like, forever. At least as long as I've seen it, which the only reason I think I've seen his Twitter is because people retweet it because he's tweeting about the Knicks. So, I think those guys, like, congrats. Congrats to the Knicks Film School guys. Awesome guys. Congrats to Tyler Kolek, Rhode Island legend. That's the end of the list of happiness. The people that like were transplants going into the Garden, the Celebrity Row people today, it was tough. Some of the people they put up there like had not been there, had probably not watched basketball that much before, and it was just like a place to be type deal.
Yeah.
The Knicks fans are having their championship parade in the streets as we speak. The videos are starting to come out on Twitter.
Oh no.
That's gonna piss me off beyond belief over the weekend here. Just the worst possible way to lose the season. Like, Jalen is at the podium now. One of the first things he says is it wasn't their year, and it wasn't their year. It's very true. Like, it wasn't. Clearly not. Right? Like, bad luck here at the end. They just didn't have the juice to get across the finish line or repeat, and repeating is very difficult. But just a dick kick. Like, going into the series, Celtics so heavily favored, like minus 900, that'll like haunt us forever. This Knicks team did not play the Celtics well before this 2 weeks. They were a joke, like legitimate joke. And credit to them. They buckled down when things got tough. They fought back in games 1 and 2. They were not handed anything in this series. They played really good team basketball. They were resilient. There's no disputing, doubting, having trouble understanding why that fan base likes this team so much. Sucks to lose.
Do they like
to
this
them.
team? I'm not.
The Knicks fans?
I think they only. That's
right
what's
now they do.
Right now they do. Right now they do, and that's what's frustrating about the loss to this team as well, is that they weren't good. They really weren't good in this series. They played two good games. They played two good games. And 2.5 good games, I guess, because you give them the fourth quarters in games 1 and 2, and but like, this is how fucking sports works. They won the games. They took the games from the Celtics in the fourth quarters, but they weren't good, and they haven't been good, and they've been incredibly frustrating for Knicks fans all season long. Like, and in that Knicks series, Knicks fans were tearing their hair out. It was like, how, like, we should be beating this team in 5 comfortably, and the fact that the Pistons didn't force it to Game 7 was like just a massive surprise. And
is this series actually on the Pistons?
It's kind
of.
Is
it their fault?
Is it the ref's fault for not calling the foul on Tim Hardaway at the end of Game 3 or 4?
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, you did, because you don't like when they call fouls on.
Well, I don't like when they call fouls on those plays, but like also Tim Hardaway Jr. and Dennis Schroeder like pissed away 2 points at the end of the third quarter of that game. Like, you lost by 1. Like
the fast break where they slowed down. That was
2-0.
Yeah, that was really bad. Just fucking score. That was a very Dennis Schroeder thing to do, I feel. Of course the Knicks fans love their team right now, but they've definitely not had it hasn't been like, oh my God, the Cat trade and the Mikal Bridges trades were genius, and I'm so glad that we made these moves. There was no-brainers, and Mikal Bridges was worth all the picks. Like, Bridges, what was he? He was 9. He was actually 9. He was good tonight. I don't even know how well anyone played in this game.
Before today, he was 39% from the field. He had the stop on Jalen at the end of Game 1. Him and OG combined for the stop on Tatum in Game 2. He had 14 fourth-quarter points in Game 2 after being scoreless for the rest of the entire fucking game. Mikal Bridges felt like Caleb Martin in this series not because he is a Caleb Martin level player, but he played like a Caleb Martin level player until the lights got bright. Like, he was Caleb Martin if the entire series represents the Heat regular season, and the clutch points of these games represented the NBA playoffs, the conference finals in 2023, when he became a god. He was a riser in the clutch. You got to give him credit, even though he looked like me out there for 3 quarters of those games.
And
One more thing before we go. And if you have more to say, we can keep going. But
I was saying, no, game 4, he also he didn't miss a shot in the second half. Like he hit every contested 2-point 8-footer, 12-footer over and over and over again. So again, you win the games, you win the games. You win the series, you win the series. I still can barely even comprehend that it happened, but it happened.
It happened. Thank you for having my back on the lag. I appreciate that.
I got you. Yeah.
Last thing, Porzingis spoke in the locker room.
Yeah.
He said nobody is really clear on what he's going through right now. They tested his heart as well as for other illnesses. Asked if he has long-term concerns, he said he's not sure but doesn't think so. He believes rest might be best for him via J. King.
So that's insane.
Still big question mark, like the fucking Riddler in the Batman Forever movie, or whichever one the Riddler's in, where he's just got all the question marks on him. Like, this thing has been the worst, and I feel so bad for him because he doesn't even know what he's fucking dealing with.
Yeah, like the human element of this is real, and it's been hard for a lot of people, even myself, honestly. Like the emotions of the playoffs, I'm just like, this fucking guy, but at the same time, I've got to be like, what is this? I don't know. Should he have just taken more vitamin C or whatever? Like I'm just joking, but it's this is completely out of his control, of anyone's control, and you can chalk it up to he's one of these people, but the injuries were the concerns, not the immune system as well. And yeah, I feel bad for him, man. If he had just been fully healthy and fully himself, this could have been his moment. Imagine Tatum goes down still, but he's healthy and the series is 2-2, and he's a massive reason why they come out and win this series, and then they play the Pacers competitive, and he'd be great in that series too. The fact that we didn't get to see KP for either playoff run is pretty brutal. And you just got that tiny little taste of it in game 1 of the finals, and that was, at least it was at the perfect time, really. If you're going to choose one moment for him to be the best version of himself, it was in the finals. So it is what it is.
Sorry, not breaking because it was 12 minutes ago, but weird Derek White quote. One of the things I'm most proud of is that I was able to put on a Boston Celtics uniform. What?
That just might be a Joe Mazzulla thing. He's proud every time he puts on a Boston Celtics uniform.
Maybe. Hopefully he's just talking about today. I mean, Derek
scares me.
He cannot be touched.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. That is weird.
Unless they're getting Cooper flag. Derek for Cooper, would you do it straight up?
Yeah. Sorry, Derek. I love you more than life itself, but I would do that. That's weird. I would guess that he just is. It's like I'm always proud to put on a Celtics uniform, is what he means. I have to watch the video, but yeah.
All right. Well, Jake, thank you very much for joining me. Go ahead and plug all of the stuff because, I mean, you guys do a tremendous job over there. I don't want to mess it up.
Oh, it's just First to the Floor YouTube, Jake Eisenberg on Twitter. If I'm guessing most of our audiences know each other at this point, which is awesome. But we'll still be doing all the playbacking all the other playoff games. Sam will be on late night tonight. We'll be talking more. We'll get some more quotes, and we'll maybe
I'll come hate watch too, right?
Yeah,
do the playbacks.
Please. And yeah, maybe we'll talk a little more off-season-y type stuff late night tonight, but I'm sure we'll talk about that over and over and over again in the next May, June, July, August, September, 6 months.
Awful.
Yeah.
Don't even want to think about it.
At least there's Summer League mixed in there, draft. But, alas. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, thank everybody. First of all, for a great season of support, seriously. Jack and I will probably do a thank you on the pod tomorrow because we'll both be on it. But thank you for listening and watching today and always. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every day with new content, even during these awful summer months, especially for you guys in Australia. It's actually like winter instead of summer, so it sucks. But nonetheless, full pods, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps, morning after each game. Other videos in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find Jack and I streaming all pre-games, but that won't happen for a while, so don't worry about it. Spotify and Apple have all the recaps in pods as well, so follow us there if you just want those audio only. Leave a 5-star review, tell your friends. We'd appreciate that very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com, if you have something to say about the season, the offseason. We're reading them. We'll be recording Saturday at some point, probably earlier in the day. I don't know, man. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.